There are just hundreds of snakes in this temple just waiting for us to show up.
Who feeds them? You feed them?
These two unnamed characters inside the first 2 minutes of the movie basically are CinemaSins.
I can't help but get the feeling that you're not finishing because you don't want to leave your house.
She never leaves the house. I'll take off 5,000 sins if this is the same character she played in The Net just 27 years later. But also, even if she never leaves the house, why is she cooking for 6? She's got 3 pans, a strainer, and 2 or 3 bowls all filled with food. Look in the back. She has 3 yellow bell peppers. Is she psychotic?
Listen, I know these last 5 years have been hard after John's passing.
Does she have her cell phone set to speaker play every incoming voicemail? Or did she push play on the voicemail, then get in the tub and we arrive late on the scene of that action? Also, is this something that people are willing to say on a voice message intended to motivate a creative person with a deadline? Offer her cheese!
But girl, there's a great big world waiting for you.
This won't be the last time the movie tells Loretta she'd be happier to get out and see the world, but not everyone likes that sort of thing. Living in a bathtub drinking quietly without the world invading sounds pretty nice. Also, bathing with the blinds open.
And a book tour that I can't cancel, so just make it happen.
No publisher, agent, or publicist would schedule an entire book tour before the first manuscript was completed. Books typically take a full year from first manuscript to publication, if not more. This movie is counting on you being here more for hot people than for publishing industry accuracy. This magical moment when alcohol suddenly appears in her glass. This horribly inefficient way of signing books. Make a stack, not an aesthetic collage.
Do I need to be wearing a glitter onesie?
Did you wait to have this conversation until now?
I took over your socials, so this morning you tweeted, "Where are my ladies at? Meet me at Ballroom G at 5 p.m. Hashtag Shawn Mendes. Hashtag gagging to meet you all."
Is random shit just funny now, as long as there's a veiled sexual reference? Could the movie have gotten the same laughs if the tweet had ended with hashtag Fruit of the Loom, hashtag swallowing some chewed up cantaloupe right now?
You want word of mouth? Here we go. How's this?
Does Loretta have haters' comments at the ready? She does! Oh, that is not healthy.
History had a ton of nudity.
Game of Thrones.
I expressly asked not to do any more events with Dash. Alan.
When your own team starts doing the opposite of what you specifically requested, it might be time to fire that team and find a new one.
Remember, no grumpy face, big words, or boring academic talk.
Yes, because being yourself isn't how to be successful at all. Lop off your identity by wearing clothing you don't love, removing glasses that help you see, castrating your vocabulary, and apologizing for wanting to stay home in the bath. Also, no grumpy face, big words, or boring academic talk was the name of my college a cappella men's chorus. Making your stars sit in these horrible chairs with no back support. And what kind of stool is so tall without any foot bars near the bottom? This stool was constructed to make this woman look foolish. I can't play it for you, but after paying for Bullock, Tatum, Pitt, and Ratcliffe, the movie still had the pocket change for the final countdown by Europe, which I feel should be one of the most expensive songs to license for film because of its eternal rapturous greatness. The social media manager is fucking horrible at her job. She's backstage while all this magic is happening in front of her.
Oh my god, I'm loving this chemistry between you two.
Were you watching?
How about we take some questions from the audience?
You've been on stage for 2 minutes. What the is happening right now?
Hey, is this happening?
Like, is he surprised his shirt is coming off when this apparently happens a whole lot?
The Lost City of D is Dash's final adventure, if there even is a next book.
Everyone will react like this is a stupid decision, but dude, she just sold 1 million copies of this book with that spoiler, did she not?
Stick around for the costume contest at 6 p.m.
So this entire panel lasted like 4 minutes? These fans are gonna riot, right?
If there is another book, I'm investing everything we've got into this tour, okay?
Just who the hell are you and what is your relationship to her? Are you the publishing rep? Why would the publishing company spend all their marketing money on a single author's book tour? Are you her publicist? Then you're spending her money and not your money. Are you an assistant or an agent still spending her money, not yours? This line makes 0 sense.
It's this way.
No, I think it's this way.
Your agent, publicist, publishing representative just told you it was in the next suite over, and you are now in the bowels of this hotel, so you are both absolute morons. Why does Loretta think she's going in the right direction? They're in a fucking kitchen. Something has obviously gone wrong. Also, how do random people wind up in kitchens like this all the time in movies? Kitchens are not corridors. They are sacred spaces guarded by knife-wielding food warriors. Get the fuck out of there and go around like a normal person.
Mummies are human.
Fuck you, prep cook asshole, sticking his nose in other people's business. You knew what he meant. I bet if she had said there's no gravity in space, he would have interjected, oh, actually, most celestial bodies in space have their own gravity, or that kind of nerd-it-all bullshit, right? The rich lady who promised to clean up the mess from the ashtray she intentionally kicked over is now back kicking that shit into the street like a street cat.
Didn't have time to dress the place up much.
But you did have time to order enough salami, crackers, fruit, and cheese for 5,000 people and then decorate them with beautiful flowers.
My name is Abigail Fairfax.
This terrible name is what happens when you do one of those online things where you take your middle name and the name of the first street you lived on.
My passions, as you may know, lie in the hidden things in the world, things which defy possession.
I challenge us all to remember this later in the movie when Abigail is obsessed with a crown and desires to possess it. She's going ahead and eating the cheese this psycho kidnapper laid out for her.
I need someone who can decipher these symbols.
And here's where National Treasure meets Romancing the Stone.
I can't say I'm not disappointed.
Hey man, maybe be disappointed in yourself first. Earlier you went through the trouble of putting on special gloves to handle the parchment box, and now you're getting your messy cheese plate charcuterie fingerprints all over it.
She has a smart watch. It ripped my wig off.
What was that scenario? Never mind.
How do you just abandon the pursuit of that particular piece of knowledge?
Anticipate the difficult by managing the easy.
If you're ever confused about what actors are in a particular scene, you can eliminate 99.9% of them by simply asking, is this person eating while speaking? And if the answer is yes, it's Brad Pitt.
I'll have her back within 48 hours, so your next rescue is free.
Wait, how likely is a second rescue, though? And how much does this not free initial rescue cost me? Are you still on the line, sir? Mr. Pitt? I think the best way to tell Harry Potter is evil in this movie, despite the kidnapping, is to note that he didn't even allow her to bring a change of clothes, let alone any other personal products. At least when I kidnap a woman, I bring along her deodorant and maybe a few pairs of underwear. Where did all these cops come from?
Welcome to the Lost City.
Roll credit. Again, where are the gloves?
Leave one hand free. She has some translating to do.
Is that what the kids are calling it these days?
We found some sort of scratching at a nearby waterfall, but it was useless. It's just pictures of women.
This highly focused man willing to kidnap and kill to get the treasure dismisses clues because they are scratches. But when we see them later, there are perfect matches to the parchment, meaning there hasn't been much time spent investigating these incredibly important carvings. God, I hate being smarter than people with super expensive jets. I guess I just don't understand why the left side of the tent is lit by flames and the right side by electricity. Alan arrives at the location described as being
on a tiny, forgotten island in the Atlantic.
And this large enough to need an airport island seems very confused about being forgettable. Do you ever wonder about a day in the life of a person working in the props department? Was the note for this scene, find as many canes as possible and shove them beside the desk in the foreground? Or was it, tent is filled with antique things and you just go buck wild on canes and no one stops you?
You only said translate it. I translated it.
Oh, snap! She's giving him the Brady Bunch exact words lecture. The first thing the movie does to make Brad Pitt seem invincible is to have the main gate security guard at the evil compound facing in. This is an island research facility built by a set designer and not anyone that understands how bugs and rodents work. Look at all the openings in this structure here. If mosquito netting is a thing, and it is, then this building is full of mosquitoes and other pests, and I hate it. These assaults make a lot of noise, but only so much as to draw in one or two nearby henchmen and never the full onslaught.
Alan?
How the f*** did she recognize him from that?
Excuse me, would it be possible to remove me from the chair?
No time.
To be clear, the time-saving option here was to carry Loretta to the wheelbarrow beside the tent rather than cut her ties. They lifted her, moved her, placed her in the wheelbarrow, and then ran, rather than slit a couple pieces of plastic. God, I hate being smarter than people with expensive knives. I can't show it to you, but Brad Pitt is basically this movie's Steven Seagal from Executive Decision. Julian got through the jungle, set up, killed Jack, and then what? Suddenly struggles to take a shot on Alan? Alan with the lat wingspan of an albatross, but moves like a slug, Alan? Also, Julian's gunfire is so terrible that he nearly hits Loretta more than once, which his boss says is a big no-no. Oddly, I'm looking forward to watching Alan lift and scoot Loretta into the tiny car. It's going to take so long, so Alan will probably be killed off pretty easily, but should be fun to... Oh, we're just cutting straight to Loretta in the car. Yeah, sure, leave the rest of this to our imagination.
I think his brains are in my face!
Someone saw Pulp Fiction and then set out to write a Romancing the Stone ripoff. I think the idea here is that Loretta flew out of the car, but his entirely unattached luggage is somehow magically remaining on the roof. And honestly, I can't take this movie seriously anymore. This is Denzel meets Mark Wahlberg, Denzalberg, and I defy you to see anything else in this guy's face now that I've said that.
Okay, so what we need to do is we need to find a phone.
Holy shit, she's either stupid or dumb. She's highly intelligent, but this is some grade school level thinking.
Why is it warm here? Wait, are you peeing?
Just go around it.
Comedy! No one will be seated while the movie does an extended ripoff of Stand By Me here with the leeches. Shockingly shameless how many prior better movies this Lost City was willing to rip off.
Don't make that sound.
That sound, no.
Your plucky warrior hangs in tranquil solitude.
Using the adjective plucky to describe the zing-a-long-a-ding-a-dong. Dude finds a leech on his arm and just tosses it, as though there aren't more leeches on his below-the-water shit.
Is phantom leech syndrome like a thing?
Nope. But I will take this opportunity to let you know a true fact about some leeches. Some have 32 brain segments and 9 pairs of testicles. So if someone calls you a leech, I think it's a compliment. I'm amazed that her makeup is so perfectly intact after all Loretta has been through. None of her mascara has moved, and her smoky eyes are perfection. How? How does makeup stay so perfectly on the skin after all this time? Why is no one concerned about how this works?
Go.
Dude, she fucking went here. Where'd you go is something you'd ask when you realized she was missing, not after you found her.
We gotta go up.
Have you seen what I'm wearing? I'm in a glitter straitjacket.
Yeah, you better take that off. Movie expects us to believe these two free duetted their way up this mountain without any climbing gear.
It's Latin. It means sweeter after difficulty.
Ah, like my orgasms.
Oh my God, I wish Beth could have seen us do this.
Speaking of people who should have seen this, can we go back to the base of the waterfall when Loretta and Alan spotted Abigail's men approaching within eyeshot and managed to scale up the side of a cliff without being noticed or shot down? No, never mind. I don't want to go back. Let's just send it move on. Both of them are way too close to this fucking fire right now. Is this a fake flame? Who staged this scene? Is there a burn nurse on site? Holy fucking Christ, this is so close. Like, a marshmallow would burn in 20 seconds if it were Channing Tatum's current right elbow.
Lovemore's hands explored the...
Skip. They explored the skip.
Okay, I'm chilly. I think I'm gonna
If she says anything other than stay by the fire to continue to stay warm.
probably turn a little bit.
Hammocks are weird even by yourself, but the movie thinks it's bringing comedy games with these hammock-anigans. Man, you'd think this high-tech stealth plane power-funded group would have some drones. I mean, I'd send the drones if they showed up, but at least they would be flying around looking for signs of interest, like a goddamn fire on a ridge.
Boss, people are dying now. Don't you think that maybe this has all gone too far?
Denzalberg has a point. Listen to reason. You're a wizard, Harry. Imagine jumping onto a plane to head to the jungle to go after your author client who has been kidnapped. Now, imagine doing all that in this suit. Did she not have pajamas? Pajamas would make more sense than a suit.
I have a cargo plane. Maybe after I make my delivery, we can swing by your island.
What's the Latin for creepy pilot who gets rejected for a date but then suddenly has an ex machina plane? What is the joke here? Was it that she would rather sleep on the ground than accidentally cuddle this guy? Because this is how you get ants.
What is that?
That is parchment that has not changed its message, shape, appearance, or meaning since the first time she translated it. In other words, it is an item that doesn't need to be shown in this scene for any reason other than to create the plot tension that will propel us on this most enjoyable adventure. Except I was lying about the enjoyable part.
You know you're not Dash, right?
I don't think he does. I know he was disappointed in her, but did he really leave her all alone out here? Bad guys on dirt bikes are doing nothing to separate this movie from the new Jumanji films.
Give him the parchment!
I can't.
This whole thing, throw me the whip, throw me the idols on for some time.
I am a woman. I can't mansplain anything.
Womansplaining. Honestly, though, how do you ride a motorcycle in a goddamn jungle? This plan, which entirely depends on the motorcycle approaching the sequin post from this particular angle, followed by this turn of events, which entirely depends on the motorcyclist deciding to not immediately stop his forward momentum while blinded. Aren't they hungry? Thirsty? What is she picking at on a payphone? I promise that whatever is stuck to that surface should not be touched with a metal rod, let alone fingernails. The lady that was dancing with Alan needles Loretta into dancing with him, and she doesn't want to, and he says,
You don't have to do this.
and then she does anyway, and what the f*** is going on here? Shoo that lady away and eat some f***ing protein. Holy shit, this movie is weird.
Excuse me. The last line that you sang.
Of course, the last line she sang is directly relevant to the mystery to be solved. Can we not see a scene where the song lyric is about a dog licking its balls? I mean, the movie would then turn in on itself and justify this as sort of a clue. We'd send that too, but goddamn, this is convenient.
There's a sinkhole on the map.
Yeah, but it would be so much more impressive if a dog was licking its balls on the map. And you know it's true.
This is your story. How do you want to write it?
She goes on to say she wants to go to the sinkhole to find the hidden tomb, whereas I would have gone with, I want me to get on a plane and get the fuck away from this place. Also, I appreciate the poetic imagery here with these words, but this is not a story. People have been trying to kill you.
I see you met my friend here.
Nope, she didn't. Alan did. Alan, the man that Abigail believes to be a highly trained person capable of military-level rescue operations. So why isn't the Tropical Goon Squad going to look for Alan right now?
I always thought, why can't your personal tank also have a minibar?
And super bright lights that make you the most obvious target on the island. Don't forget about that.
Who is that?
Better question. Who would commandeer a bike to rescue someone and blow the cover of surprise by drawing attention to themselves with a f***ing horn? Nope, whiskey just does not work this way. I've tried. And don't tell me you have to get the proof just right or the stogie ash just hot enough. I've tried. Therefore, it doesn't work. And don't ask. Alan is about to get shot, but then the luckiest tree branch this side of Return of the Jedi saves the f***ing day like an asshole. For reasons that elude the grasp of logic, they keep Alan alive and bring him into the vehicle with Loretta. I somehow won't be needing this anymore.
You're closed? You know I've been trying to take a nap for a year and a half?
This is the beginning of one of the most lackluster speeches I have ever seen, and it somehow works.
So I hate to ask you to leave this place open a few more minutes, because if we don't...
I can't let that poor grammar slide. I'm sorry. She opens with, so I hate to ask you, and then goes with because, when but is clearly the right word here. I hate to ask you, but if we don't X, Y, Z, she dies. Not, I hate to ask you because if we don't. Because you haven't even stated what they would be don'ting. This is probably an ad-lib that didn't have matching grammar, but it's simple regardless. This is still an active volcano, so I fully expect it to have an eruption during this climax, because as Chekhov said, you can't show the volcano in the first act without showing it firing in the third, or something. Here's where the tomb is, and it's in a sinkhole. And listen, there's literally nothing more terrifying than sinkholes. If you don't believe me, Google sinkholes, and then look through the Photos tab and enjoy your nightmares. I would rather face 1,000 Freddy Kruegers with poison-tipped Michael Myerses instead of finger blades, while simultaneously facing 1,000 killer great white sharks with robot legs and samurai swords than ever encounter a sinkhole. I'm adding 10,000 sins here for the very existence of sinkholes. My God, have mercy on your soul. Somehow a sinkhole is turned into the minds of Moria.
Please, let us know if you get through all right. If we don't hear from you, Fabio's got to die.
So let's say she goes in and dies. Then you send Alan in and he dies. What do you do next, Big Smarty? Okay, if an oil lantern goes sideways, it is sloshing oil all over the place inside, causing the cute little flame to go massive and super quick. So this must be an electric lantern, which makes me wonder, why not just use a regular flashlight? Loretta doesn't get any injuries from this bullshit.
Go on, your turn.
Listen, movie, I'm willing to believe that Loretta can squeeze through this tiny opening, but not Alan and his albatross lats. No.
I made it! I made it!
She yells this instead of, I made it, but I had to really squeeze through this super narrow portion, and I'm not sure how I got through there, but since I'm pretty tiny, probably none of you boys back there are gonna make it. Wait, did they just skip over him going through the part of the tunnel where Sandy barely got through? Opening a tomb for any reason. If you've seen a single movie, you would never do this.
Where's the treasure?
Like most narcissists, Fairfax will now blame this on the romance novelist. Nothing is ever this guy's fault in his own eyes.
Kalaman and Taha's riches weren't material. It was their love.
And to think they'd have realized the treasure was love all along if they were just bigger Bruno Mars fans.
You may have bought the island, but now the island owns you!
I did not see full redemption in Denzalberg's future, but here we are. I've never been trapped under a heavy stone tomb lid before, but why not use your legs to get out? The arms are wimpy noodles, but the legs are a powerhouse. With this in Uncharted, I guess 2022 is the year of movies about treasure hunters taking leap of faith swims through underground cave systems they have no knowledge of and which could probably kill them, but ultimately it doesn't because reasons.
Is that Beth?
How in the hell is Beth's boat just magically 40 feet from where the previously unknown underground tunnel spit them out into the ocean?
You're safe now.
There's still the matter of the active volcano 500 yards away, but yeah, safe-ish, I guess. We do not need mid-credit scenes in rom-com movies.
Cast it into the fire!
Do you trust me?
What did you say?
Beth says you don't even leave the house anymore. I don't feel like that's very happy. You should be going out in the world and filling yourself up on new
I'm already
experiences.
filled up. I'm full. I'm fully satiated.
Help me find the crown of fire.
Hurry, you put your name in the goblet of fire.
Currently 78 degrees in Nomanasan. Perfect weather for flying.
I called her a human mommy. Mummies are human.
All names and letters, dickhead.
Why are you so handsome?
My dad was a weatherman.
Yes, but my father was a piano mover, so.
Why are you so handsome?
In the morning, if my face is a little puffy, I'll put on an ice pack while doing my stomach crunches. I can do 1,000 now.
Are you scared to come in the water?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
I'm feeling faint. They're sucking They're sucking my soul out.
It's sucking my will to live! Gonna hang me in the morning for the night is done. Hang me in the morning, never see the sun.
Kalaman and Taha's riches weren't material. It was their love.
The secret ingredient is love. Who's been screwing with this thing?